Okay, I'm going to start with the left side, and I think I'm going to leave the numerator alone for the time being. Oh, come on, I'm tired of that. All right, there we go. My wrist keeps hitting this, and the bottom of the screen. You can see those little dots down there. Oops, now you can't see them. So I've got 1 minus tangent squared, and I've got 1 plus tangent squared. And I know that tangent squared equals a secant squared minus a 1. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this twice. Let's see if this works. I haven't officially worked this through, so I'm going to take these two tangent squareds, and I am going to plug in secant squared minus 1 for both of them. Secant, squared theta minus 1. Now here's the deal. Please make sure you put anything that you plug in like this in parentheses, simply because, as well, I know you guys don't always think about it, but you should always think about it when you have a subtraction. But it helps, I guess I should switch over to the other color. It helps when you're doing this type of stuff so that you don't miss out on anything, so that you don't miss out on distributing. Like, you actually have to distribute this negative to both of them. So it's actually going to be a 1 plus a 1. So I will get in the numerator, I will get a 2 minus a secant squared theta. In the denominator, I am going to get a 1. Nope. Sorry, my 1s are actually going to go away. Bye-bye. So I will actually just have a secant squared theta. Okay. All right, no problem. Now I've got one fraction. It's got two terms in a binomial. There we go. A binomial in the numerator. I couldn't think of the word. Sorry. So then we've got 2 over secant squared, right, minus a secant squared theta over a secant squared theta. All right, that second fraction, it's going to go away and be a 1. So I have a 2 over, and I am well aware, guys, that my exponents look like 7s. I'm sorry. 2 over secant squared. And I'm actually at this point, because I know that eventually I'm going to need something with sine. You see up there, I'm going to need something with sine. The only thing I can think of right now is that secant squared is the same thing as 1 over cosine squared. Not exactly what I want, but close enough, or closer than it was. Okay, so it's going to be minus a 1. Please remember, anytime that you are dividing by a fraction, you are multiplying by the reciprocal. So really, that first fraction is going to be a 2 times a cosine squared. 2 times a cosine squared, and then I'm going to subtract the 1. I'm now going to use a Pythagorean identity, okay, and cosine squared, my squiggles are terrible. Cosine squared is the same thing as 1 minus sine squared, so I am going to write 2, plugging that in parentheses, 1 minus sine squared theta, and that'll be minus a 1. When I distribute, right, that's all I'm doing there, that's just algebra, I'll get a 2 minus a 2 sine squared theta, and then I'll still have that minus 1 at the end. And the nice thing about this, the 2 minus the 1, positive 2 minus and 1 is a positive 1 minus 2 sine, and I'm running out of space at the very end, sine squared theta. Okay, and that's exactly what I wanted on the right side.